Hi there, welcome to episode 2 of This Guy Edits, where you get to see this guy edit. I want to talk a little bit about selecting for scenes. Selecting is the process that you're doing before you start editing. It's already a creative process where you're looking at the footage artistically or in terms of the performance, and you're selecting what the good moments are in a scene. I have a very particular way that I'm doing it. I'm sure there are many other ways and many other techniques that editors use to select their scenes, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing in the past 10 years or more of editing. I picked a scene that actually has 2 cameras rolling at the same time. You see our main character here sitting in the middle of an AA meeting, and I covered this meeting in Philadelphia. And it actually happens to be a real meeting. So everybody else in this scene is a real person that showed up to a real AA meeting, and Mark is playing a character in there. And his mother has been leading this group, what I assume, for many, many years. I haven't really looked at this footage at all. All I did is I sunk the footage to the audio, and I made what is called a multi-clip, where I can see a scene run, and I can see both angles at the same time, and I could be cutting back and forth between the 2 different angles. I'll start at the beginning.
Have a seat. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. You're supposed to act like they're not there. No. Okay, that's it. I'm going to whoop your ass in about a second.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to say something.
No. You got to act like it's not there.
So as you can see, the shoot starts and somebody walks in and he acknowledges the camera. So he's breaking what is called the 4th wall. So most of the stuff I'm probably not going to be able to use, but I still like what's happening in that moment. Mark's mother, is very much in control of what's happening, and we get a real good sense of what her character is. She knows how to talk, she knows the lingo, and it feels real. So even though most of that stuff might not actually end up in the movie, I still like what's happening. And anything that has potential to be used, I'm going to select. And then I just keep on watching.
All right, please. I told you I was having a rough morning. Yo.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So at this point, still he's acknowledging the camera. I'm going to use it anyway.
So anyway, we were doing introductions. And the topic that I wanted to talk about this morning is what are some of the struggles that people that are having to deal with recovery coming back in the community have to deal with? Especially those of you that have done time, right? What are like some of the real issues that you've had to deal with?
She basically introduced what this meeting is about. What I'm going to do with this part, because it's all usable, I'm going to select it, but I'm actually going to put it one layer up. And that's a system that I specifically use and that I sort of developed for myself. I would like to have a chronological order of what is happening in the scene, and then if something happens that should deserve more attention, I'm going to move it up one video layer so that when I look at my timeline at the end, it's going to really reflect sort of like a waveform of what the good moments are in a scene. What I really liked was that moment where she talked about people doing time. So maybe I'm even going to give it a marker so that I remember, or that my eye is drawn to that moment when I start cutting the scene. I'm actually going to take that moment here.
Especially those of you that have done time, right?
For me, something is happening there that I feel like could maybe become a valid moment in the scene. So let's keep on playing.
Anybody want to say your name or hand?
Nice little reaction shot there, and I can already see in the other shot this guy's going to raise his hand, so maybe I'll cut from this reaction shot over here.
Your name or?
My name is William.
To the guy on the left.
Hey, Will. I deal
Hey, William.
with addiction and incarceration. Mm-hmm. And the biggest problem that I have is employment. I have a real hard time with getting that second chance. You know, thanks to New Jerusalem, you know, they afforded me a second chance. At like get on top of my life situation.
I can tell now we're in a close-up here on this guy.
You know,
How much time did you do?
I did 18 years.
18 years?
Yeah. And still came out with an addiction. So, it's a lot. It's a lot you got to deal with. Because
So again, I really like this moment here where she asked him, how much time did you do? So I'm going to put that up one layer.
addiction ain't nothing. It's not nothing to play with. And there's all types.
So and at this point, somebody is walking into the room and this door is creaking. Everybody gets distracted. So I'm going to see what happens here, but I'm probably not going to be very excited about this moment here.
To addictions. You know what I mean? But, when you're dealing with
Door is
addiction
finally
and
closed.
issues, it's like
So now we're back in. So I'm going to move this to the bottom layer. It happened, and I'm still going to watch it, and I'm going to see it when I'm cutting the scene. But I can already tell that this is a little bit distracting. Maybe with an audio mix that can be fixed.
with what we do. Hopefully I can get it right this time and take advantage of the second.
Well, I'm here to help do whatever I can to support you in your recovery.
Like
Your
that.
renewal, your open snake.
So whatever he said here,
Well, I'm here
and then I'm going to be cutting to
to
her.
help do whatever I can to support you in your recovery. And staying on the outside, right? All right.
Great moment. So as you can tell, I'm starting to build this waveform on the timeline here. And I can already tell these are good moments. This is pretty good moments, and this just happened. So if I watch this back,
At like get on top of my life situations and problems, and
How much time did you do?
I did 18 years.
18 years?
so I really wanted to be in the close-up here. So I'm just going to switch the camera angle.
How much time did you do?
I did 18 years.
18 years?
Yeah.
This is just very rudimentary, first touch and go editing, so that when I do watch back this whole timeline, I already get a sense of what the coverage is. The coverage is the different angles in a scene, close-ups, wide shot, medium shot, so I know what moments are covered in what way.
Well, I'm here to help do whatever I can.
Okay.
I'm David. Hey, David.
Hey, David.
I'm with him. I've been through addiction and incarceration. No state time.
How much time did you do?
Together since I was 15. I'm 26. Too many things, like
Over 10 years.
over 10. Yeah, I would
Uh-huh.
say that. Yeah.
And what were some of the major issues that you had to deal with?
My main issue.
Okay, so they're basically shooting a documentary at this point, and they're just going with what happens. Now they are adjusting the camera as the action is happening. And that can sometimes be good because you don't want to disturb the moment, you don't want to disturb the flow, and you don't want the people to constantly be reminded that they're being filmed. But at the same time, that whole moment of him introducing himself and then talking about what his story is basically not covered. I basically have it in audio, so if I find some cutaways where I can cut to something else, maybe some hands or whatever I could think of or happened, I could maybe cover some of that camera adjustment and still use it.
Huh?
The judging. Like in this specific area.
Lots of commotion.
Okay. But if I take a walk down to Center City, people will still look at me different.
Phone is ringing. Here we go. Now we're settled into the scene. It's a beautiful close-up of him on the right side.
My active addiction, I was a chaotic person, which led me into my incarcerations. But I'm trying to leave all that behind me, but the image still stays. It's very hard to let go of a lifestyle, even without the drugs.
So and at this point it gets kind of funky again. So I'm going to make this a layer 2. I don't want to lose anything at this point because once I not put it in the timeline, for me it doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. It's very hard for me to go back to the dailies and track something down. So I want to cover everything that has potential, that might be in the movie, and put it in this timeline because I'm going to be working off this timeline a lot. And as we continue developing these scenes and I start cutting, you're going to see how I'm always referencing back to these select reels.
So you can't find employment because you got felonies?
Yeah, I got a few felonies. Like I said, like I came.
Great question from her. And again, there was a lot of camera movement beforehand, but I got this little moment here. And that's maybe all I need in the scene, because I really don't, that scene is probably not about everybody's life story. It's going to be just moments. Everybody is just going to be able to represent who he is in a sentence or two. And that moment just now that we saw was really beautiful between her and him. And let's watch it again.
So you can't find employment because you got felonies?
Yeah, I got a few felonies.
So that's great, and it's very authentic.
So you can't find employment because you got felonies?
She's going to say that in the wide shot for now.
Yeah, I got a few felonies.
And he's going to answer in the medium shot.
Like I said, like I came from a suburban area, and then when I got into my heroin addiction, I lived in Kensington for a while. You know, and like I said, getting clean and then going back to those suburban areas, they look at me so different now. Like I'm a piece of dumb stuck under the table type.
This is all good stuff.
Well, I've seen you over the weeks, and you look like you're really progressing. And I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. The shy guy?
This process, you know, from Baltimore, and me too, like in and out of prison and stuff like that. You know, I had 10 years before, but I didn't use the tools that I know now to stay clean.
I really like this guy. He feels very real, obviously. And I have a feeling this moment right here is going to make it into the movie.
You know, I come up like from a family that is just not my family.
How many people in your family?
My immediate family, my whole family.
Actually, let's make this a close-up. I'm going to continue with the scene, and I'm sure Mark is going to get his turn here to talk about his problems. Again, he's playing a character here that's somewhat based on his own experience. I can already tell this is a really good scene to set the stage for this movie. It happens early on, where we understand that we're really out there in the hood, and she is a real person. And I think that's really important at the beginning to make her a strong character and to understand what she's all about. So I'm going to leave it here, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to just run through this timeline real quick with you, and we're going to move on to the next scene. And if you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.
My immediate family is 4 of us total. And you know, my sister's a recovering addict. You know, she come out of New Jerusalem. She had 15 years clean.